Welcome to my channel. World Scene News. Subscribe to my channel for news updates all around the world. As the sun set on November 26, 2025, a complex mix of anticipation and anxiety swept across the United States. The golden light of dusk painted city skylines, but beneath the beauty, a sense of unease lingered in the air. People gazed out their windows wondering what the night, and the holiday, might bring. Instead of the usual pre-holiday bustle, children laughing, shoppers hurrying home and kitchens filled with the aroma of Thanksgiving preparations, the day was marked by unsettling events that cast a long shadow over the nation's cherished holiday. Streets that would normally be alive with excitement felt subdued, as if the country itself was holding its breath. News headlines dominated conversations. Violence erupting in Washington, D.C., a devastating fire raging in a distant country, and a relentless winter storm trapping travelers on icy highways. These stories served as stark reminders that life's challenges do not pause for even the most sacred of holidays. The world felt smaller, more fragile, as families realized that hardship could touch anyone, anywhere, at any time. The nation's resilience was tested on multiple fronts. Communities grappled with questions of safety and justice, while rescue workers and volunteers rushed to help those in need. Neighbors checked on one another, bracing against the unpredictable forces of nature and fate. In these moments, the true spirit of unity and compassion began to shine through the darkness. Around dinner tables, conversation shifted. Instead of lighthearted talk about recipes and family traditions, people found themselves processing the day's heavy news. The television flickered in the background, broadcasting updates that weighed on everyone's minds. Families paused to reflect, their gratitude tinged with concern for those facing hardship. Thanksgiving Eve became more than just a prelude to celebration. It was a moment of national reflection. Across the country, candlelight vigils and quiet gatherings brought people together to share their worries, hopes, and support. The anxieties of the day underscored the importance of unity, reminding everyone that even in difficult times, coming together matters most. In the face of adversity, gratitude and community felt more vital, and perhaps more fragile than ever before. As Americans prepared for Thanksgiving, they did so with a renewed sense of empathy, cherishing the bonds that hold them together, and finding hope in acts of kindness big and small. Security in the nation's capital was shattered late last night, as a sense of normalcy was abruptly broken by the sound of gunfire echoing through the heart of Washington, D.C. The White House, a symbol of American democracy and stability, became the backdrop for a scene of chaos and fear. Just steps away from the iconic gates, a sudden act of violence unfolded, drawing a swift and overwhelming response from law enforcement. Sirens pierced the night as police and emergency vehicles converged on Pennsylvania Avenue, their lights illuminating the historic buildings and casting long shadows across the city's most famous street. Two National Guardsmen, who had been stationed in the area as part of heightened security measures, were shot in what authorities are now calling a targeted attack. The incident sent shockwaves through Washington, D.C., a city already on edge due to recent security concerns and ongoing threats. Witnesses described a chaotic scene, with people running for cover and officers shouting for bystanders to stay back. The sound of helicopters soon filled the air, as law enforcement scrambled to secure the area and search for the shooter. The high-security zone surrounding the White House was immediately locked down. Police cordoned off streets, set up barricades, and ordered residents and tourists alike to shelter in place. Helicopters circled overhead, their spotlights sweeping across the city in search of any sign of the suspect. Paramedics rushed to the scene, working quickly to stabilize the wounded guardsmen before loading them into ambulances. As the victims were transported to a nearby hospital, heavily armed officers began a block-by-block search, determined to find whoever was responsible for the attack. News of the shooting spread rapidly, with anxious onlookers gathering behind police lines and reporters broadcasting live updates. The city, already preparing for the Thanksgiving holiday, was gripped by fear and uncertainty. The attack, coming on the eve of Thanksgiving, left Washington, D.C. in a state of shock. Residents and visitors alike expressed concern about safety, and many questioned how such an incident could happen in one of the most heavily guarded areas in the country. At a late-night press conference, officials released few details about the suspect or possible motives, but assured the public that every available resource was being used to track down the perpetrator. Investigators worked through the night, combing the area for evidence and interviewing witnesses. The names of the wounded guardsmen have not yet been released, out of respect for their families. Loved ones gathered at the hospital, waiting anxiously for updates, while the nation watched and hoped for good news. As the city grapples with the aftermath, this act of violence has cast a somber mood over the capital. What should have been a time of gratitude and peace has instead become a moment of fear and reflection, as Washington, D.C. comes to terms with a tragedy at its very heart. In response to the shooting, President Trump addressed the nation, condemning the attack and expressing prayers for the wounded guardsmen. He announced the immediate deployment of 500 additional National Guard troops to Washington, D.C., vowing to restore order and ensure safety. The president also defended his embattled envoy Witkoff, dismissing recent controversy as a distraction. The move to increase military presence drew mixed reactions. Some saw it as necessary, others as excessive. Regardless, the capital will see more uniformed soldiers in the coming days. The president's message was clear. Violence will be met with decisive force. The city braces for a tense holiday under heightened security. As D.C. reeled from violence, a massive winter storm battered much of the country, disrupting Thanksgiving travel for millions. Heavy snow, sleet, and freezing rain created hazardous conditions from the Midwest to the Northeast. Major highways became treacherous, with accidents and pileups stranding travelers for hours. Airports were thrown into chaos, with widespread delays and cancellations. Emergency crews worked tirelessly, but the storm's scale overwhelmed resources, forcing many to abandon travel plans. Power outages threatened millions as ice weighed down lines and trees. For many, simply reaching their destination and staying warm became the focus of their gratitude. This Thanksgiving, nature's power reminded the nation of its vulnerability. In Hong Kong, tragedy struck as a massive fire tore through a residential high-rise, trapping hundreds inside. Firefighters battled the inferno, but the scale of the disaster was overwhelming. The death toll climbed past 55, with many still unaccounted for. Images of flames and desperate residents shocked the world, highlighting the fragility of life in densely populated cities. The cause remains unknown, but questions about building safety and emergency response are already being raised. As Americans prepared for Thanksgiving, Hong Kong mourned, a stark reminder of how quickly life can change. The city faces a long recovery, and the world watches in grief. The political landscape was rocked this week by a series of dramatic developments, beginning with the abrupt resignation of Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene. Greene, a polarizing figure known for her outspoken support of the America First agenda, announced her departure from Congress in a surprise press conference. She cited a desire to pursue her vision for the country outside the halls of government, leaving many to speculate about her next move and the future of her political influence. Her resignation sent shockwaves through both her supporters and critics, raising questions about the direction of the movement she championed. Meanwhile, in a stunning turn of events, a Georgia judge dismissed the high-profile election interference case against former President Donald Trump and his co-defendants. The decision marked a significant legal victory for Trump, who has faced mounting legal challenges in recent years. The courtroom drama unfolded over several days, with legal experts and political commentators closely watching every development. The dismissal not only cleared Trump of these particular charges, but also set a precedent that could impact similar cases across the country. In related news, cases against former FBI Director James Comey and New York Attorney General Letitia James were also dismissed. These decisions further shifted the legal landscape, leaving many to wonder about the motivations behind the sudden wave of case dismissals. Legal analysts debated whether these outcomes reflected flaws in the prosecution's arguments or broader changes in the judicial approach to politically charged cases. For Trump's supporters, these legal victories were cause for celebration. Rallies erupted across the country, with crowds waving American flags and chanting in support of the former president. The timing, just as the holiday season begins, added to the sense of triumph and renewed energy within the movement. Many see these developments as vindication and a sign that their political momentum is far from over. However, not all was celebratory in Washington. Tensions escalated dramatically when the Pentagon issued an unprecedented threat of court-martial against Senator Mark Kelly, a decorated former astronaut and Navy captain. The move left lawmakers and the public alike baffled, as such actions against sitting senators are virtually unheard of in modern American history. The Pentagon's statement was terse, offering little explanation and fueling widespread speculation about the underlying reasons. The lack of clarity surrounding the Pentagon's actions only deepened the sense of intrigue and uncertainty. Politicians appeared visibly concerned, and journalists scrambled to uncover more details, but official answers remained elusive. The episode added yet another layer of complexity to an already tense and unpredictable political environment. As the week drew to a close, these rapid-fire events underscored the volatility and unpredictability that have come to define American politics. With resignations, courtroom dramas, and unprecedented military threats all unfolding in a matter of days, the nation was left bracing for what might come next. Despite heightened security, cities pressed on with Thanksgiving traditions, including iconic parades under the watchful eye of law enforcement. Families focused on last-minute feast preparations aided by expert cooking tips and advice on stretching holiday budgets. A new trend saw more people adopting turkeys through animal sanctuaries, reflecting a shift in holiday values for some. With online shopping surging, law enforcement warned of increased package theft, urging simple steps to thwart porch pirates. Strategies like lockboxes and secure delivery options help protect holiday gifts. These efforts aim to preserve the joy of the season amid new challenges. Thanksgiving traditions endure adapting to a changing world. Amid heavy news, Americans found comfort in familiar rituals, especially Thanksgiving football, which brought families together across the country. Entertainment added cheer, with the Percy Jackson cast appearing at parades and Taylor Momsen sharing stories from her new album. Dancing with the Stars celebrated record viewership, proving the enduring appeal of shared entertainment. Uplifting stories emerged, like a North Dakota cashier whose conversation led to a customer's life-saving cancer diagnosis. Segments like GMA Strong highlighted everyday acts of kindness and community. These moments of connection and joy are essential, balancing the day's anxieties. They remind us of the resilience and compassion at the heart of American life. Thanksgiving Day 2025 arrives after an eve marked by both hardship and hope. The nation faced violence, storms, and tragedy abroad, but also showed determination to connect and celebrate. Cities fortified traditions, justice took new turns, and communities found strength in small acts of kindness. This year's gratitude is deeper, tempered by reality but more meaningful for it. As families gather, may moments of peace and connection offer respite from the world's challenges. Today is a chance to pause, reflect, and give thanks for the good that endures. From all of us at ABC News, we wish you a safe and happy Thanksgiving.